Welcome back to Sonic Generations. Today we're going to be playing through the second level of the modern era, Rooftop Run from Sonic Unleashed.
Alright, half good game.
Yeah, I like Unleashed, and, the Werehog was kind of a hit-and-miss idea, but I think the main reason it gets so much shit, apart from its, dodgy physics and so on, is just because it was the game that came right after 06.
Or because of the shitty-ass Werehog, Tom?
Probably.
Well, no, see, I've said this before. I don't have a problem with the Werehog as a gaming character. I had no problems with. Just a lot of his levels were kind of dull.
I feel the reverse, actually.
The worst part was the beat-em-up sections.
I feel like if it were Knuckles instead of the Werehog, it would have been awesome.
Exactly! I've been saying that for like 4 years now.
Well, that might fix some of the story issues, but the physics issues, pacing issues, etc. would still remain.
Well, this is how, no disrespect to Jun Tenoy, who I love and praise, but Tommy Oatini showed you how you take a recent gaming track and reinvent it. I mean, this sounds so good, Rooftop Run modded.
I love this version of the track, and it kind of goes with the level, because it's, set during a festival. It's got more kind of like a jovial beat to it, while the original had more of a rocket static to it. I like it. I don't think it's as good as the original, though.
Really?
Oh,
Tom, you are so wrong on that.
Yeah, okay, whatever, guys.
This is like I just want to say, what kind of city is Rooftop Run to have a festival where they drop giant spikes and they have guillotines? Like what kind of city is Rooftop Run? I mean, I know it's based in, in like Eastern Europe, but still, even Eastern Europe ain't that crazy.
You remember when Professor Pickle said he likes his sandwiches sliced thinly, if you please? This is that dark future. Oh, this is the good stuff right here. You ready? 3, 2, 1, trailer shot. And that, ladies and germs, is the sole reason why there is a 3D mode in Sonic Generations, just to show off all these balloons and whatnot.
That's what this game is missing, Professor Pickle, and Wentos, too.
I know. Well, see, when we get the Classic actually starts inside Professor Pickle's office, which is a really nice little touch.
Actually, you can run through his office in this version of the level.
And also, I think it's in Classic when you start, you actually see the flag. You see like the continent flags of all the levels in Unleashed, which again is a really nice little touch. I mean, it's not that in terms of Generations, all the fan services in the levels, and there's like none in like the dialogue or the cutscenes. It's kind of odd in that regards.
Well, it's easier to shift dialogue and, just cutscenes in general from the overall product, rather than just take a few things out of the level, which people probably wouldn't catch anyway.
It's really odd, like if you play this, and then if you go back and play the Unleashed version of Rooftop Run, the controls in this game are just so much better than in Unleashed, it's laughable.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because recently the Unleashed project for Generations PC came out, and you can play the original Rooftop Run using Generations physics, and it controls really well.
Yeah, I know. Whoever thought of putting the Home attack on a different button is a moron.
This whole level to me feels like an Act 2 from the Sonic Unleashed version, just in music and overall layout. What do you guys think?
Pretty much. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's kind of like a truncated version of the original. Only it's a lot more fun to play.
I'd agree with you. It's just you don't really get to boost as much, which I thought, of all the levels, this one would have been boost crazy because it's where the game of Boost was spawned.
The game of Boost.
The boosting project. It's almost like half as long as the original, because a normal run for me in Unleashed on a Rooftop Run day would take about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Which level would any of you have chosen instead of Rooftop Run? I would have chosen probably Cool Edge, because it would have broken up the city and all the water tropes and crap.
I would have picked Jungle Joyride. That music, man.
This personally represents, I would say, modern Sonic as a whole to me, and honestly it's my favourite level in Unleashed, so if not this, I would probably go with Jungle Joyride.
I'm gonna be honest, this is my favorite level from the game, so this is the one I would have chosen.
Now I gotta say, Rooftop Run Classic is probably my favourite classic level in the game, next to Speed Highway and so on, because not only is it nice and colourful, there's tons of references to like other, just bits of Sonic media. Like in the background here, as Gareth mentioned earlier, you can see the continent flags from Sonic Unleashed. Coming up right here is actually a reference to Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2, the little gondolas and whatnot.
Oh yeah, just take what I said in an unused take. Thanks, Tom.
It's what I do, Sky, it's what I do.
One thing I like about this level, and a lot of people agree with me on this, it's a really good... it's a showcase of what classic Sonic is really good at. It's got a mix of speed, platforming, and gimmicks. We'll see that a little bit later on.
It's just a feel-good level. I mean, the music is goddamn fantastic.
Oh my god, this music. A lot of people will say that this is their favorite track in the OST, and I cannot blame them one bit.
It's just so upbeat and happy that I can't help but smile every time I hear it.
It is one of the better classic remixes, that is true.
I love how on the OST Blue Blur Sonic Generation soundtrack, this track has this speed up version in it, so you're just da da da, and then suddenly da 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 da.
Which again, it's another reason why Tommy Watiti is the only person who included the Speed Shoes like remixes in his classic tracks. None of the others do that on the official soundtrack. It's like, why? Why?
Oh, I love this bit of the level. As I was saying earlier, Rooftop Run Classic takes a lot of references from other bits of Sonic media. This takes reference from the night version of the original Rooftop Run, when you're like going through the warehouses of Spigonia as the werehog, and it's pretty great.
And I know I didn't mention this earlier because I was singing pretty terribly, but at that part where you spring from one plane to another, if you have the lightning shield and you do a double jump, you can do a neat little glitch where you basically jump out and you control Sonic in 3D. So it doesn't control perfectly. I mean, he wasn't meant for that kind of gameplay, but it's pretty cool to run around the level and see how it looks in a 3D perspective.
I love the fact you left the word classic off there and just basically said Sonic doesn't work in 3D.
That was purely unintentional, but I think it's the retro genes in me.
Yep. Oh, can we agree that the sped up version of Rooftop Run Classic is the best version in the game?
Oh, definitely. I want to just jump out of my house and start running along the roofs of my own neighborhood listening to this.
Are we going to have an intervention at some point, Sky?
Okay.
Thoughts on the clock tower sequence? Personally, it reminds me a little bit, and actually classic Sonic in Rooftop Run reminds me a lot of the werehog from Rooftop Run 9, just basically going up a clock tower and whatnot.
That's right, I forgot about that. But yeah, this time you're going on the outside of the clock tower, and it's a nice little platforming challenge, but there are some dick moves by some of the enemies in there. Like, some beams you just cannot avoid, but otherwise it's alright.
Yeah, you need to be really quick to get the red rings in this section. Oh look, it is a blimp. Is it called the Flying Battery?
I don't know. It's in the air, and it's made by Eggman. It must be the Flying Battery.
And remember kids, Sky is a member of Sonic Retro staff, so if he says it's true, it's gotta be legit.
So you, Scott, how can you say that isn't Flying Battery? You're insane.
Oh yeah, it's only like, I don't know, a 50th of the actual level.
It's the wrong color.
As we've seen, you know, in terms of the Sonic canon, things change size. I mean, Christ, in SA2, Knuckles holds the Master Emerald in his hand like a Chaos Emerald, alright? Sega don't give a shit about size, or colour, or quality, or consistency, or pleasing the fan base. Why am I wasting my life talking over the...
So just because it's a flying thing that has Eggman's face on it, you consider it Flying Battery?
It's a flying thing that runs on
I guess
batteries.
the first time you saw the egg carrier, you were like, oh my god, it's Flying Battery!
It is! Wing Fortress, Egg Carrier, they're all the Flying Battery, just given slightly different names.
Gareth, this is the most black eyes / green eyes argument based shit I've heard from you in a while.
And your point is?
No point, just that it's the end of the part. We'll see you all next time for Planet Wisp. See you then.